Welcome back. In this session, we are discussing templates in C++ programming. Templates in C++ programming allows function or class to work on more than one data type at once without writing different codes for different data types. What is the purpose of using templates? Purpose is code reusability. Templates used in three different ways. First one is function template, second one is class template, and third one is variable template. Templates allows programmer to create a common class or common function that can be used later for a variety of different data types. The parameters used during its definition is of generic type and can be replaced later by the actual parameter. So this is known as generic programming because at the start of defining function or class we can't use the data types. We are using the generic data types and later it will be replaced with the generic data types. Later it will be replaced with the actual data types, so it is called generic programming. Third one is example. So just consider a situation we want to program for a sorting a list according to roll call and floating point numbers. So roll number is of a type integer and percentage is of a type float. So we need to write two separate sorting algorithms for this situation. One algorithm is applied for integer and one algorithm is applied for a percentage, calculating percentage, that is floating point. So here using templates we can define a generic data type for sorting which can be replaced later by integer and float data type. Function template. So how to define the function template? A generic function that represents several functions performing same task but on different data types is called function template. So template class T, either we can use here class keyword or either we can use here the type name keyword, that will be useful. So there are two options, either we can use a class keyword or type name keyword. So T is declared as a generic data type, T some function, T argument. Normal definition of function is a return type, then function name, then return type and argument. So here is definition T some function, T argument. So function template, T is a template argument and class is a keyword. We can also use keyword type name instead of class. We can pass one generic argument, two generic arguments or multiple generic arguments to the function. Function overloading requires repeated function definitions. So using template is a better way. It has code reusability. So if we want to write for the same situation, that is we want to calculate the or we want to calculate sorting numbers according to roll number or according to percentage, so we require two function, one for the roll number that is of the type integer and one for the percentage that is of the type float. So rather than using function overloading, that is rather than using two function definition, we can use only one function definition with the help of templates, and it is called generic programming. So that declared generic data type either T, that will be later replaced with the actual data type. So it having the purpose code reusability. Now we will check out the implementation. Okay. So this is the one simple program of function template. Here we are using only one generic data type. There are three ways, or there are, we can say, more ways. Either we can use one generic data type, either we can use two generic data type, or we can use multiple generic data type. So simple, it having include iostream, then using namespace std, then template keyword. We can use either type name keyword or class keyword. We are declaring one generic data type, capital T. Always generic data type is declared with the capital letters. Then that user as a return type, add T number 1 comma T number 2. So here I want to add two numbers but I don't know the actual data type of that number. So return number 1 plus number 2. In a integer main, I am calculating or I am returning this result. So I am passing, actually calling definition, that two data types are passed as a integer. So now my number 1 is a integer data type and number 2 also integer data type. So 2 plus 3, it needs to be generate the result 5, and in a second it having double, that is number 1 it having double value and number 2 also double value. So I am passing two double values and result will be generated. It will be look like that. Just checking the execution. Okay, so 2 plus 3 is equals to 5, 2.1 plus 3.1 is equals to 5.t. Okay, so I am just using this only one definition of a function that will be used for two times, one for the integer and one for the double. Second thing, here I am doing two types of arguments. I want to add two numbers of two different data types. Either it is a integer float, float integer, whatever. So I am writing just only one definition, but I am using two generic data type, one having name capital T, one having name capital U. And later, at the time of calling, I am passing two different data types. So integer will be assigned to the capital T and double will be assigned to the capital U for the first calling. In a second calling, double will be assigned to both, that is T and U. So printed result will be double. So let's check the result. Okay, so it adding two numbers. First time it adding integer and double number, second time it adding two double number. Okay, so this is the program, or this is the example of using two generic data types. T is one generic data type and U is another generic data type. So you can edit this program for three number of data types. So I need to add here the third data type. I need to declare here third data type like type name. For example, I am declaring capital A. So I can add here third number with the capital A type num3. Okay, so I need to add here also plus num3. Then result will be, I will pass here double comma double. Okay, so now let's check what happens about the result. I need to pass here three values. I'm passing 2.2 and also pass here the values. I'm passing 2.2. Okay, so let's save it, execute. So now I am adding three numbers. Check that my three numbers are 2.3, sorry, 2 plus 3.3, 2.2. So it will generate result 7.5, and in the second case it will generate the result something 7.4. Thank you all of you.